Three, two, one. I welcome all of you to the first meeting of the Parliamentary Consultative Committee of the Ministry of Communications. We are in the midst of an information and communication revolution. This revolution is bringing about fundamental changes in every aspect of life at the national and international levels. It has also opened the prospect of India emerging as an information technology superpower. This prospect will become a reality only if we create a modern nationwide telecommunications infrastructure at the earliest. Telecommunications is also by itself an accelerator of economic growth. The telephone is no longer a luxury but an indispensable tool in every conceivable economic activity. For example, the large network of STD ISD booths established by the Department of Telecommunications in a short span, and we can see these booths even in small towns today, has immensely benefited small entrepreneurs and the common person. Experts have calculated that 1% increase in telephone density results in a 3% increase in GDP. As you would make out from the agenda notes, this information and communication revolution has unfortunately largely bypassed rural India. The National Telecom Policy of 1994 had envisaged universal access and availability of basic telecom services on demand. We are way behind achievement of this objective. The failure is most glaring in meeting the target of at least one village public telephone for each of the 6 lakh villages in the country. More than half of these 6 lakh villages still do not have even a single telephone, in not to mention other sophisticated forms of communications. Moreover, the telephone density in such of the villages which do have a connection is very low. This should be matter of concern for all of us. My government will not allow the rural-urban divide to get further widened because of failures in policy and implementation to meet our goal in rural telephony. My vision is to see every Indian village connected with the global village that is being created by the information and communication revolution. The failure in the area of rural telephony cannot be seen in isolation from the flaws in the National Telecom Policy of 1994 and its implementation. Today, everybody recognizes that the reforms in the telecom sector, particularly relating to investment in basic and cellular services by private operators, have failed. The country cannot, therefore, afford any further delay in resolving the many problems in the telecom sector, which my government has inherited from the past. As I have stated on several occasions, we have both the political will and the competence to unravel these knots in the most transparent manner. In doing so, we will be guided solely by national interests, to which all other sectoral interests must become subordinate. As a first step, we have created a high powered group on telecommunications under the chairmanship of Shri Jaswant Singh. It has been mandated to recommend to the government on the following: 1. Create a strong, independent, and credible regulatory framework by strengthening the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. The government will move to suitably amend the TRI Act if found necessary by the group to achieve this objective. 2. To resolve all issues in the telecom sector, including the license fee structure for basic and cellular operators to ensure fastest proliferation of telecom services in India, including in rural areas. As I have stated before, the government will take suitable action in this matter before the end of the year. 3. To formulate a new national telecom policy to address, among other things, the revolutionary phenomenon of the convergence of telecom, IT, media, and consumer electronics. This suggests that we may have to create a common policy and regulatory framework for telecom, broadcast cable, internet, and other aspects of convergence. All this will require the evolution and implementation of rational spectrum policy based on best international experience. In dealing with this important task, I have directed the group not to tinker with the issues but to come up with a fundamental and lasting solution that will both meet the needs of the country and also take into account the rapid technological changes in this dynamic sector. Otherwise, within a few years, India might once again face problems similar to the ones we are dealing with today. The solution must, among other things, address the national objective of rural telephony. We cannot expect the dot alone to undertake this important social obligation. Private operators will have to share this responsibility and meet their targets speedily. There is also a need to use many different technologies simultaneously, especially wireless, to ensure cost effective and rapid spread of telephones in villages and hilly areas. The solution must also result in further strengthening the Department of Telecommunications in order to successfully face the increasing competition in the coming areas. There are many examples in the world where state-owned telecom organizations have become major players. ओके जो रीड करना चाहता ना एक बार कमेंट में मैसेज चैट में मेंशन कर दो तो उसी सीरीज में चलेंगे फिर बार बार पूछना पड़ता है कि कौन रीड कर रहा है ठीक है नितेश स्टार्ट करो
I welcome all of you to the first meeting of the Parliamentary Consultative Committee of the Ministry of Communication. So we are in the midst of an information and communication revolution. So this revolution is bringing about fundamental changes in
every aspect
of life at the national and international level. Full stop. It has also opened the prospect of India. Full stop. Emerging as an information technologically superpower. Full stop. This prospect will become a
reality.
It become a reality only if we create a modern nationwide telecom policy
Telecommunications
anywhere
infrastructure
telecommunication anywhere
Hmm.
anywhere at the police
earliest
at the earliest. Full stop. Telecom policy is
telecommunications is also
telecommunication is also an accelerator. The telephone is not longer or luxury but indispensable tool in economic activity.
every
Full stop. For example, conceivable economic activity. Full stop. For example, the
large network of STD.
The large network of STD IST booths established by the Department of Telecommunication in a short time, and we can see these booths in small towns and modern
immensely benefited
small and the common person. Full stop. Experts have calculated that 1% increase.
Okay, Nitesh. Anurag?
1% increase in telephone density result in a 3% increase in GDP. Full stop. As you would make out from the agenda, notice this information and communication revolution has unfortunately larger bypassed rural India. Full stop. The national telecom policy of 1994 had envisaged universal access and amenity of basic telecom service on demand. Full stop. We are by actually behind achievement of this objective. Behind achievement of this objective, full stop, the failure is most glaring in meeting the target of at least one village, public telecom for each of the 6 lakh villages in the country. Full stop. More than half of these 6 lakh villages still do not have even a single telephone. Not to mention
other sophisticated
phones of communications all over the telephone density of such of all over.
Moreover, the telephone density.
Moreover, the telephone density of such of villages which do not have connection is very low. Full stop. This should be matter of concern for all of us. To stop. My government will not allow the rural-urban divided to get further widened because of failures in policy and implementation to meet our goal. Full stop. To meet goal in rural
telephony.
In rural my vision is telephony. Rural telephony.
यहाँ पे तो आपका हाँ रूरल टेलीफोनी. ओके ठीक है शमीम.
ओके एक सेकंड सर. मैं सर एक वर्ड समझ में नहीं आता.
हाँ बताओ
सर. ये माय से जो स्टार्ट हो रहा है जो
माय विजन
इज टू सी फर्दर क्वेश्चन विल बी द ग्लोबल village that is being created by the information and communication revolution. Full stop. The failure in the area of rural telephony cannot be seen in isolation from the uh, from the
Flaws in the
from the flaws in the
national
telecommunication
telecom.
national telecom policy of 1994 and its implementation. Full stop. Today everybody recognize that the reforms in the telecommunication sector, particularly relating to the investment of our basic and solely services by providing operator
Cellular services
cellular services by private
private
operators
hmm,
operators have
failed
एक word है,
failed
have have failed. The country cannot therefore
hmm,
afford any
afford
other. सर क्या था?
any further delay
Any further delay in distributing among
in resolving the many problems
in resolving the many problems in the telecommunication sector which my government has inherited from the past. Full stop. As I have stated on every occasion, we
on
have
several occasions,
several occasions we have
both the
sir,
political
we have both the political will and the competence to uh,
unravel these knots.
unravel these notes in the. सर मैंने यहाँ से थोड़ा वर्ड मेरे मिस हो गए थे सर, वो नेटवर्क इशू हुए थे.
ठीक है, कोई नहीं. और किसने रीड नहीं किया अभी? और को रीड कर रहे हैं? शुभम, श्रीकांत, अनुराग. हाँ.
ठीक है. In the most transparent manner. Full stop. In doing so, we will have to guide it solely by national interest, to which all other sectoral interest must become subordinate. Full stop. As a finance first step, we have created a high power group or telecommunication under the chairmanship of Sri Jaswant Singh. Full stop. It has been mandated to recommend to the government on the following. Full stop. One, creates a strength
Strong,
independent. सही है क्या है?
strong, independent,
एक वर्ड था. Sorry.
and strong, independent, and credible
अच्छा, strong.
regulatory
Sorry. Strong, independent, and credible regulatory framework by strengthening the telecom regulatory of India. Full stop. The government
authority
will
of
move
India.
to is authority of India. Okay.
Hmm.
Authority of India. Full stop. The government will move to suitably amend the
Amend
Tri Act. Full stop.
Hmm.
Amend the Tri Act. Full stop. If found necessary by the group to achieve this objective. Full stop. To the rules resolution all
Resolve
issues
resolve
in the
all issues.
all issues in the telecom sector, including the license for structure for basic
Fee
and
structure.
cellular operatives. Sorry.
License fee structure for basic.
So fee structure for basic and cellular operators to ensure fastest cellular operators of
Proliferation.
telecom communication
Hmm.
proliferation
Hmm.
proliferation of telecommunication service in India. Full stop. Including in rural areas, as I have stated before, the government will take suitable action in this matter end of the year. Full stop.
Before the end
Third
of the
comma, to before the end of the year. Full stop. Third comma, to formulate a new national telecom policy to address, among other things, full stop, the revolutionary phenomenon of the convergence of telecom, IT, media, and consumer electronics. Full stop. This suggests that we may have to create a common policy and regulatory framework for telecom, broadcast, cable, internet, and other aspect of convergence. Full stop. All this will require the evolution and implementation of a rational spectrum policy based on best international experience. Full stop. In dealing with this important task, I have directed the group not to tinker with the issues, but to come up with a fundamental and lasting solution that will both meet the needs of the country and also take into account the rapid technological changes in this dynamic sector. Full stop. Otherwise, within a few years, India might once again face problems similar to the ones we are dealing with today. Full stop. The solution must, among other things, address एक कुछ है सर यहाँ पे
ठीक है. The national objective
नहीं सर, ये नहीं, यहाँ पर द सॉल्यूशन मस्ट अमंग अदर थिंग्स से क्या है ये?
हाँ ठीक है, सही रीड किया आपने। अदर थिंग्स एड्रेस
ठीक
द
है,
नेशनल ऑब्जेक्टिव।
हाँ ठीक है सर, नहीं सर थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज हो रहा था।
हाँ ठीक
द
है।
सॉल्यूशन मस्ट अमंग एड्रेस द नेशनल ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ रूरल टेलीफोनी, फुल स्टॉप, वी कैन नॉट एक्सपेक्ट द डॉट alone, full stop, this social
टू
obligation
अंडरटेक दिस इम्पोर्टेंट
private, sorry,
टू अंडरटेक दिस इम्पोर्टेंट सोशल ऑब्लिगेशन।
अच्छा सर यहाँ से नहीं, फिर यहाँ से छूट रहा था सर, यहाँ से छूट रहा है, मेरी कॉल आ रही थी यहाँ पे, फिर वो एंड में जा रहा है।
ठीक है,
मैं पढ़ दूं यहाँ से?
हाँ कर दो, रीड कर दो।
Private operator will have to share this responsibility and meet their targets uh, severally,
टारगेट्स speedily.
full stop. Among
There is also a
among
need
it is also a need for the
There is also
to use many different technologies
to use many different technology, especially to ensure cost effective and to
and rapid spread of
a rapid step in
villages,
villages, and solution must also
hilly areas, and
areas
hilly areas.
the solution must also resolve in overstriking
Further,
further strengthening the Department of Telecommunication in order to successfully face the increasing competition in the coming areas. Full stop.
uh,
There are many examples in the world. Sorry,
where
एक word यहाँ
state where
है.
state-owned
Where state-owned technology
telecom organizations
where state-owned technology organization have particularly
have become
organization have become major uh, player. Full stop.
ठीक है, डन।
सर
ओके,
ये मैगजीन चल कौन सी है?
ये प्रोग्रेसिव फेब्रुअरी वाली चल रही है। इसमें आप ऐप में देखो ना, ऊपर स्टडी मटेरियल वाले टैब पे क्लिक करना, वहाँ पे अपलोड कर रखी है मैंने वाली मैगजीन।
सर कल कौन सा नंबर चलेगा?
ये आपका 7 और 8 चलेगा कल।
ठीक है सर।
ठीक है, ओके, चलो ठीक है, कल मिलते हैं guys।